In the glittering underbelly of professional tennis, where love serves are supposed to be returns of passion, a bombshell just exploded. Emma Raducanu and Carlos Alcaraz, the golden duo fans shipped harder than a tiebreak, have shattered into a feud so vicious it's rewriting the rules of romance on the court. Whispers from the locker room turned screams on social media, total fan war, with hashtags clashing like aces and flops. But hold on, because what started as a fairy tale flirtation at the US Open has devolved into a saga of betrayal that could end careers. Stick around, because this isn't just gossip, it's the unraveling of tennis's hottest power couple, and you're about to uncover the truth that no one's daring to say. If you're hooked on the drama that's got the tennis world spinning, smash that like button right now and subscribe to Tennis Insider for the unfiltered scoops that keep you ahead of the baseline. Drop a comment, Team Emma or Team Carlos. Let's dive in before the next volley hits. The spark ignited last summer at Flushing Meadows, where Emma's baseline precision met Carlos's explosive forehand in a mixed doubles exhibition that felt scripted by destiny. Off-court, stolen glances over protein shakes turned into late-night strategy sessions in dimly lit hotel lounges, their laughter echoing like crowd roars. Fans ate it up, #MCARAS trended globally, fan art flooded timelines, and betting odds on their first kiss rivaled Grand Slam finals. Emma, the British prodigy with a smile that disarmed opponents, found in Carlos a kindred spirit, both child wonders burdened by prodigy labels, both craving normalcy amid the spotlight's glare. He called her Mi Reina, she teased his Spanish flair with mock matador poses. It was pure, electric, until the crack spiderweb through the fairy tale. A leaked text message, innocuous at first glance, revealed Emma's frustration over Carlos's relentless schedule sidelining their stolen weekends. "You're always serving the tour first," it read, a fault line that fans dismissed as lovers' quarrels. But oh, how it festered. Carlos, ever the competitor, fired back in a podcast slip, "Love is like a match, sometimes you have to reset the point." Fans, sensing the serve and volley of egos, began picking sides. Emma's loyalists, the Raducanu revolution, accused Carlos of being a fame chaser, while Alcaraz's army, the clay court kings, branded her a diva too fragile for his fire. The hatred simmered, bubbling under neutral posts, until it boiled over at the Australian Open afterparty. Emma arrived solo, Carlos with a mystery brunette on his arm, rumors swirled of a Spanish model, but insiders whispered it was a deliberate jab. Photos captured Emma's icy stare across the room, Carlos averting his eyes like a double fault. Social media ignited, "He ghosted our queen," versus, "She faulted on commitment." The divide deepened, turning what was once a unifying romance into a tribal war, with fan accounts doxing rivals and petitions demanding boycotts. Yet beneath the venom, a deeper story unfolded, one of two stars navigating the isolation of genius, where every relationship is a high-stakes rally against burnout. Emma confided to a close friend, voice cracking over FaceTime, that Carlos's intensity mirrored her own fears of fading too soon. He, in turn, journaled in Spanish about feeling caged by expectations, her independence a reminder of freedoms he'd lost. The disagreement wasn't just words, it was the collision of two worlds, British reserve clashing with Iberian passion, amplified by a fanbase that owned their narrative more than they did. As matches resumed, subtle sabotages emerged, anonymous tips to tabloids exaggerating Emma's flakiness, Carlos's camp leaking training vids showing her distractions. The love saga, once a beacon, now cast long shadows, forcing them to question if vulnerability on clay could ever outlast the roar of the crowd. Fans, in their total hatred, became the true opponents, turning affection into ammunition. Welcome back to Tennis Insider, where we serve the real story straight down the tee. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a fault in the game. As the feud escalated into spring, the Miami Open became ground zero for the carnage. Emma, seated high after a gritty Indian Wells run, faced a qualifier who channeled fan fury, trash-talking mid-rally about dumping Spanish princes. She won, but the victory tasted like chalk dust. Post-match pressers dodged questions with deflections sharper than her backhand. Carlos, meanwhile, dominated the draw, his grins forced masks hiding the toll. Off-court, the hatred metastasized, fan forums dissected every interaction, from a polite wave at the player party deemed fake reconciliation, to Emma unfollowing his Insta, sparking a 24-hour trend of #UnfollowAlcaraz. The love saga's twist came via a viral clip from a charity gala, Emma, elegant in emerald silk, sharing a dance with a rising Australian star, while Carlos sulked in the corner, phone in hand, live-tweeting subtle shade. "Some dances end before the music does," he posted, racking millions of likes from his brigade. Emma's response? A cryptic story, a broken heart emoji over a faded tennis ball. The moment of surprise hit like an unreturnable serve. Turns out, the real betrayal wasn't romantic, it was contractual. Insiders leaked that their teams had brokered a strategic pairing for endorsement synergy, a Hollywood ploy to boost Nike sales and Rolex deals. The fairy tale? Fabricated from focus groups. Fans felt duped, their hatred redirecting from the stars to the suits pulling strings. Emma, in a rare vulnerable IG live, admitted the pressure cooker of pretense. "We connected, yes, but the world scripted the rest. It's exhausting pretending when your heart's in deuce." Carlos echoed in a tearful Spanish interview, "Amor no es un sponsor, love isn't a sponsor." The revelation stunned the circuit, turning fan wars into reckonings. Veterans like Federer weighed in, tweeting solidarity, "Let players play, fans cheer, off-court is off-limits." Yet the damage lingered, with boycotts hitting ticket sales and streams dipping as divided loyalties fractured viewership. Compellingly, this saga exposed tennis's underbelly, how adoration curdles to obsession when idols humanize. Emma and Carlos, once symbols of youthful triumph, now navigated a minefield of memes and manifestos, their paths crossing at Roland Garros in a mixed event draw that fate, or fixers, cruelly orchestrated. The tension peaked in the tunnel pre-match, a silent standoff where eyes locked like locked rackets, words unspoken but screams internal. She whispered, "This isn't us," he nodded, "but it is now." The match? A masterclass in restrained fury, every point a proxy for unresolved ache, fans chanting split allegiances from the stands. Victory went to neither, it was survival, a draw that left scars deeper than any scoreline. In the aftermath, quiet overtures surfaced, a shared coffee in Paris cafes, neutral ground away from flashes. But trust, once aced, is hard to retrieve. The total hatred by fans, born of betrayed dreams, forced a mirror. Were they villains or victims in a sport that devours its darlings? As summer circuits loomed, whispers of reconciliation teased, joint training camps, perhaps a doubles alliance to reclaim the narrative. Yet the saga's core pulsed with truth. Love in the fast lane of fame is a grand slam gamble, where one unforced error can turn cheers to jeers forever. The clay courts of Paris weren't just red dirt, they were the bloodied canvas for Emma and Carlos's unraveling epic. Post-Garros, the air thickened with fallout, Emma's elbow tweak, blamed by trolls on emotional overheads, sidelined her for grass prep. Carlos, unscathed on surface, channeled rage into a French Open quarterfinal demolition, dedicating it to real ones, with a pointed glare at the camera. Fans, fractured into echo chambers, amplified the void. Raducanu stands flooded his mentions with breakup ballads, Alcaraz allies photoshopped her into villain edits. The love saga's next surprise detonated at Wimbledon, not on center court but in the BBC green room. A hot mic caught Emma venting to a producer, "He thinks I'm the fault line, but his ego's the earthquake." Leaked instantly, it went nuclear, clips remixed into diss tracks, petitions for her Wimbledon wild card revoked. Carlos, ambushed at a presser, cracked, "We were real once, before the world made us rivals." The raw admission humanized him, swaying neutrals, but hardened lines. Behind scenes, the disagreement's roots twisted deeper, cultural chasms, her London grit versus his Murcia fire, exacerbated by language barriers and heated texts lost in translation. Emma's camp pushed for space, citing burnout, his urged commitment, fearing her flighty rep. Total fan hatred peaked in a virtual town hall gone wrong, thousands tuned for truth. descending into a cyber melee where mods banned faster than umpires. Compelling threads wove through the chaos. A fanfic writer, once a shipper, penned a novella of their redemption rally, going viral and softening edges. Emma read it aloud in a podcast, voice softening, "Maybe we faulted, but the game's not over." Carlos reposted, "First olive branch in months." Yet reconciliation dangled like a let cord, agents meddled, brands hedged bets. The saga's tension mirrored their primes, poised on break point, one swing from glory or grief. As US Open qualies neared, sightings multiplied, shared physio sessions, coded DMs, fans, sensing thaw, trended #MKarasRedux, hatred thawing to hope. But scars lingered, a reminder that in tennis's Colosseum, love is the ultimate unforced error, beautiful, brutal, begging for a comeback. You're tuned into Tennis Insider, the pulse of pro tennis drama. Thanks for riding this roller coaster with us. If this saga's got you gripped, like, share, and subscribe for more insider aces. What's next for Emma and Carlos? Comment below, and we'll see you on the next serve. Peace out from Tennis Insider.